Good evening. It will be a Tuesday evening when this comes out. Joining me, as always, is my co-host in a fantastic Waterboy shirt, um, Robbie. Robbie, how's it going, mate?
We are very good. Very much looking forward to this and getting to find the story behind those jerseys behind Rick's shoulder there.
Now, for those of you joining us on this fan issue series, as you watched, the one Robbie did with Nate was released today. Nate is a friend of ours in the UK. And he's a good friend of the show. But joining me today, guys, is a very special guest. Goes by the Colts Twitter handle of Colts Caveman. And as you can see by that fantastic setup, the name rings true. Rick, good evening, pal. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you. That's so kind to have me. I appreciate
it. Yeah. Do you just want to introduce yourself to people across this side of the pond, mate?
Sure. I'm Rick Stevens, and as you said, I go by the persona of Colts Caveman, and basically I got the name from somebody you all probably know and love, Cloney Dungy. Yeah, my buddy Mike Bostic. He said, "Man, you've got the cave. You're going to have to be the caveman." Okay, yeah, we can do that. So when it got a little chilly last year, I pulled out the a caveman outfit, put it on, and people just they fell in love with it. I mean, the blue. I grew my beard so I can do my own beard and turned it blue and what have you. So people. He said people are going to want to take pictures with you. Well, he wasn't wrong. A lot of people want to take pictures with me, and I appreciate it. I'm willing to stop and talk to anybody about my Colts fandom and how it all came about.
Excellent. Right, Robbie, I'll let you take over, mate. I'll let you take the reins.
Yeah, we certainly know Mike over here. I've been chatting to him for the last few years. He's actually going to be coming on during spring break.
Good.
When he's off school, he's going to be coming on to doing his own session. So first of all, with the Colts Caveman get-up that you have for game day, obviously anyone that follows you on Twitter knows that the boss of you, or hashtag the boss of me, obviously runs the household. How does she feel about the beard, about the outfit?
Actually, she's all on board. Matter of fact, she wears a jersey that says "Boss of Caveman." So
no, very nice.
She is all on board. When we bought this house in 2015, this room that you're looking at behind me here looked like the Brady Bunch household. I mean, it was brown paneling, brown and orange carpet. The fireplace was brown, and I said, "Okay, where's my area?" She said, "Downstairs is your whole area." I said, "I can have the whole thing." She said, "Yep. Except for the laundry room, you can have the whole thing." So I painted the walls. It took me 7 hours to paint the fireplace just by itself. I painted it white. And I painted the walls blue. She said, "Why'd you even bother? You've covered it all up." Behind me here to my right, where you see Marlon Jackson and jerseys going that way, that was a window. I needed more wall space. So I covered it up with a board and painted it blue and hung some more jerseys.
No, lovely. I remember seeing the pictures on Twitter maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was a fantastic transformation. What I like is your barn out the back where you've done the blue and the white. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I was the barn needed painted. I hate the color red. I just do. Never liked it. And I said, I'm going to paint the barn blue. And I said, no, I'm going to paint the trim white. You know what? I'm going to put a horseshoe on the front of that barn. And it all worked out really nice. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to take the power sprayer to the vinyl siding that I've got for the white trim. I'm going to have to take a power sprayer to that this year.
Lovely. So you're based in Indy now. Was you born there?
Well, no, I was actually, believe it or not, I was born in Orange County, California. I don't remember any part of that.
So that's the LA Rams. That's the whole kind of connection.
Yeah. Actually, yes. Well, we moved when I was 2, so okay. I wasn't in California at all. I was raised in Bayonne, New Jersey, and you probably don't know the name, but another person, and he's actually a good friend of my father's. My father was a cop in New Jersey, and there was a liquor salesman by the name of Chuck Wepner. He was known as the Bayonne Bleeder. He's actually known as the Real Rocky.
Oh, okay.
He fought Muhammad Ali in 1975 and took him the distance. he knocked Muhammad Ali down, and then a couple years later, Rocky shows up. So he is the inspiration for Rocky.
That's a really cool, really cool story. So when did you move to Indy?
We moved to Indy when I was 9 years old. Finally had a yard because in New Jersey you don't have yards. Well, our yard was about the size of this room, actually. But moved when we were 9 years old, started school here. I didn't actually become the Colts didn't show up till 84. We moved here in 1974. No, 1972. We moved here. And the Colts didn't get here until 1984. I was in the Army. I get out of the Army and I'm getting off a Trailways bus and there's this huge building. And I'm like, I get home and I said, Mom, why is there a huge building in the middle of downtown? What is that? We don't have a pro sports team. She goes, no, we don't. They just decided to build it. It's called the Hoosier Dome. I said, okay. And then like 6 months later, the Colts show up.
On the Mayflower.
And I went to a few games, but I was still big Los Angeles Rams fan. Huge Los Angeles. I was a Los Angeles Rams fan ever since I knew what football was. I followed Merlin Olsen. The fearsome foursome, Jack Youngblood, Fred Dreyer, the actor, all those guys. Roman Gabriel was my favorite quarterback. Lawrence McCutcheon was my favorite running back at the time. Jack Snow was wide receiver. Harold Jackson. But Eric Dickerson came on board. And I was so thrilled to watch that man play football. It was like a work of art watching him run. And in 1987, actually Halloween of 1987, then Colts GM Jim Irsay made the trade for Eric Dickerson to bring him to Indianapolis. And I said, okay, that's it. I'm a Colts fan. And it's been that way ever since. Huge Colts fan. Even at work, my bosses come up to me and say, Rick, does your wife not let you have anything in the house anymore? You got to bring it all to work now. So my whole cubicle at work is all Colts. And they have fun with it. I'm blessed to have the bosses that I have and the things that I do at work. They fully support everything. My Colts fandom, going on trips. When you talk to Cloney, when you talk to Mike during spring break, bring up the trip to New York. Me and fan Colts, Michael Hobson. We all went to New York for a photo shoot as Colts fans. And,
was that ESPN? Was that Sports Illustrated? Actually,
that was what is it? Sports Plus.
Okay.
USA Today Sports Plus. I'm sorry. Fan Harder. How about that? And they brought us in, and it was a whirlwind trip. What we got to do in 24 hours, or less than 18 hours, actually, was amazing. I walk around Manhattan, do the photo shoot. Mike had his first slice of New York style pizza. That was fun. And bought him some Yoo-Hoos. I don't know if you guys know what Yoo-Hoo is.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's a chocolate drink here. And then, of course, he had to have a world famous Sabrett hot dog. So I took him to the hot dog stand because I grew up on the East Coast. So and he had to break out the New York accent and talk like this and all that. But we had a great trip to New York. Then the caveman came about. The season came along. Carson Wentz came aboard, and I was fully on board with Carson Wentz, fully on board with Matty Ice. Then last year we went to Nashville for a game. Of course, we lost that, and then we went to Jacksonville for that game, for the debacle, I call it. So
did you get refunded for it by any chance?
Yeah, right. I mean, the whole team fell apart. We're sitting there watching. The defense couldn't stop Jacksonville's offense. Our offense could not get going. It was like, our team just didn't show up. And as irritated as and angry as Jim Irsay was, he was a lot more angry than I was. I was not happy, but man, it's good to have an owner like that. It really is. And speaking of Jim Irsay, I can't thank him enough for. I have not met the man ever, but he sent my wife and I to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw that. He won one of the competitions.
I still can't believe it happened. And I got to thank Colts Nation for that. Seriously. There were people that could have entered the contest, the Twitter contest themselves. And rather than do that, they said, no, I think Rick needs to go. And I tell you what, that means a lot to me. Colts Nation I've met several people from Colts Nation. I've got 2,500 followers. I haven't met probably about 200 of them. I want to meet every one of them. I want to meet you guys. My plans are to go to a few home game or away games this year. We're talking maybe Raiders, of course, Nashville, Jacksonville. If it's in Jacksonville, we want to go there. But I got a feeling it's going to end up in London for you guys to go see.
No, we've already seen Jacksonville beat us already, so
we don't want to see that no more.
No, that was a painful day because with the kind of London games, you get a little bit of all kind of supporters there. Some people are just kind of casual fans. You get all 32 jerseys there.
Right. The game I'm looking forward to most being on the road is the Giants game. I want to get back to Jersey, where I grew up. Take my wife over to New York City and show her around there and what have you. The boss of me.
you gotta look after her.
I'm just gonna jump in, Robbie.
Yes.
Because I just want to pick up on something that Rick said, and that was you got a chance to do a photo shoot for USA Today. You said that with such casualness, that it sounds like it's a small podcast like us or a small Twitter stream. Just for UK fans watching this, USA Today is probably the equivalent of someone going on Talk Sport over here. It is massive, and it's just fantastic to see Rick, because as a fan from across the pond, we're convinced Indianapolis is a small market team. It's a middle of nowhere town or city state, surrounded by bigger markets, let's say. Yeah. And it's just nice to see dedicated fans getting exposure.
It is. I kind of glossed over it like it was no big deal. It was actually a huge deal for me. Just going to New York, first of all. I mean, Mike and I, we got into New York City at 1:00 Saturday morning, and we were back on a flight Saturday night at 8:00. We were back on a flight. So that 18 hours or so that we spent in New York City and doing the photo shoot and meeting the people that we met. There were Titans fans there. There were Browns fans there. We met them. As much crap as we catch on Twitter from Titans fans, you meet some of these people in real life, and they are unbelievable. They're really, really nice people.
Okay.
No, brilliant. So obviously you mentioned Eric Dickerson. Obviously he's the reason you kind of ingrained in the kind of Colts etiquette as such. Obviously for us over the UK, obviously the game's a little bit newer. So whether it be Peyton Manning or an Andrew Luck, that kind of really kind of cemented the kind of legacy of the Colts in the UK, especially with Andrew used to come over to the UK every year and do quite a lot with our kind of sport networks and do a lot for the kind of youth game and the amateur game here. But looking at the current roster, who would be your favourite player at the moment? The one that really kind of gets the juices flowing, that you think before the game, I'm looking forward to seeing this player.
Being older like I am now, I look for more in a player than just his on-field ability. I look for, how he treats people and what have you. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. You look at, I don't know if you can see it or not, but my closet over there with all the jerseys. Can you see it?
Yeah. Down in the corner, yeah.
So, but, Kenny Moore, DeForest Buckner, the Maniac, Darius Leonard, JT, my God, you don't want to leave anybody out, but
on this podcast, we were massive Jack Doyle fans. Okay. Jack Doyle was God. We were big Rocky Sin guys, obviously, but he's moved on. But I think Kenny Moore, Harrison, wouldn't you say he's one of our favourites, the one we kind of really look forward to watching. But I need to ask you about the quarterback situation.
Nice. Wasn't my first choice, honestly. I was looking towards not giving up any draft picks. I was looking forward to a low salary quarterback. I was looking at Marcus Mariota myself. I did not want Baker Mayfield. I did not want because of the drama. I'm not, I didn't want Russell Wilson. I didn't want Aaron Rodgers for the same reasons, drama. Yeah, they're incredible quarterbacks, but I'm just, Chris Ballard always says you can't buy a locker room, and I totally believe that. And what he did as far as what compensation he got for Carson Wentz, my first choice was actually to keep Carson Wentz, by the way. But when I knew that wasn't going to be happening, Mariota was my first choice, and Garoppolo was my second. Matty Ice is 37 years old. Apparently, they say he's got a lot left, so we'll see. I'm all on board, just like I was. I hated Phillip Rivers when he was in San Diego. I love that man. I absolutely love that man now. I was never a real big fan of Matty Ice, but after watching his press conference, I think I am now.
We
all I do is say go Colts. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, I think me and Harrison were very much of the. We wasn't enamored by Wentz, but we'd have been happy going with him again for this year. Again, Matt Ryan wasn't our first choice either. I was leaning more towards Baker Mayfield, just I think he had a little bit more upside, but I definitely get that with the drama. But the best thing about this show, you can have an opinion, Rick.
Oh yeah,
I can have an opinion. Harrison can have an opinion. It doesn't get shut down. Everyone's into unlike you mentioned how good Twitter is. Obviously, we're getting you to the Super Bowl, but the other side of Twitter, where as soon as the Wentz news came out, just switched it off. I just couldn't be dealing with we call it knicker wetting over here. Where they kind of they just kind of get a bit scared and kind of wet their knickers and kind of have to throw the toys out the pram.
Yeah, everybody's got an opinion, like you said, and I can respect. I really can't expect everybody or respect everybody's opinions. The thing is, people just need to learn to keep scrolling. You don't need to respond to everything. Okay, you don't know how many times I've written a response and hit delete.
That comes wisdom. That's experience and wisdom, which we do love. We don't like the drama, and we definitely agree. Chris Ballard's there for a reason. He's one that gets paid the big bucks to make these decisions, and he's done a pretty good job. He's had some real kind of hard times at the start, and he's still doing that development. But obviously, one question for yourself that's obviously watched the game for decades. We can go back and watch some games on YouTube, and we've got the Game Pass over here that kind of gives us kind of the old shows. But what would you say has been the biggest change in the NFL kind of over the last kind of 20, 30 years, other than the money, obviously?
Oh, well, yeah, money, but the focus on offense and the quarterback position. It used to be, defensive driven, run the ball, defensive driven. Now everything's about offense. You look at the new rule change, for instance, overtime in the playoffs. Okay, both offenses get to touch the ball. I'm for it. I really am. But where did we get away from? Let's play some defense, and it seems to have gotten far away from that. A lot of things are different than they used to be. As far as growing up as a kid, you could write to any NFL team or baseball team, for that matter, or basketball, and say, hey, look, can I have an autographed picture of so-and-so? I did it with Jack Snow and Roman Gabriel. About 2 weeks later, in the mail came an autographed picture of Roman Gabriel or Jack Snow, and I wish I still had those, actually.
Maybe worth some.
But, that's a big difference. It really is.
Yeah, certainly for the time I've been watching it, the rule changes that protects the quarterback. That's the thing. Sometimes I wish the referees, the officials, just let the game play a little bit more, which a little bit more contact. But I get it for kind of player safety.
Can I say that's Brady driven?
Okay? So my opinion of Brady has changed since he's moved to the Buccaneers.
Mine too. I got to say, I kind of like the guy. I never thought I would, but I do. I respect him more since he became a person instead of a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, my man.
Yeah, he's got this personality now, and he seems to be. When you're watching someone play football and they've got a smile on their face and you can see they're enjoying it, I think that makes a big difference. Well, like when you watch the Colts, Darius he's got the energy, he's got the smiles, and it kind of makes you kind of more appealing to him.
Yes.
Which is quite cool. We've got a few more questions. One of them is kind of for myself, really, because I need to get a new jersey for this season. So if you were to get a new one, obviously I know you've got hundreds of thousands, but if you were to get a player's jersey for this season, who would it be?
Well, actually, I'm going to get a Matt Ryan jersey. That's just going to happen. I just ordered some jerseys that should be in the next week or 10 days. And they were all the Pro Bowl players that we
nice.
They're the Pro Bowl jerseys, and I should be getting those. Those should be coming in the mail soon. But yeah, Matty Ice, I'm going to get his jersey. Whoever our draft pick is, I'm going to end up with their jersey. It's just like I got Quiddy last year, and of course I had to get my wife a Quiddy because she likes Quiddy a lot. So we've got a couple of those, and the Hurricane, I've got his jersey. So, if he's a Colt, I will probably end up with. I got Carson Wentz jersey. I got Trent Richardson jerseys. For Christ's sakes.
I forgot to say that name is banned because it causes PTSD.
Man couldn't find a hole if somebody directed him to it.
Somehow, almost every week, the name Trent Richardson comes up on this show, and some of them didn't actually play much. It's crazy how much he actually comes up. But I want to talk game day and Lucas Oil Stadium. There was moments this year where we could hear it through the TV screens. Definitely early on in the season, Harrison. I think the first game of the season we marked, how good the atmosphere sounded. And I think it might have been the Buccaneers game as well, or no, the Patriots game. Sorry, where But what's your thoughts on Lucas Oil Stadium compared to other NFL stadiums you've been to? What's good about it? What would you like to see improved?
Oh my God, Lucas Oil Stadium is amazing. The first time I went into Lucas Oil Stadium when it was first built, we were watching a preseason game. I don't remember the game. I was too busy looking around, going, "Wow, people built this, really?" Because it was so unbelievable. Basically, on game day, we go into the stadium right at 11 o'clock when the gates open, and we walk around, not once, but 3 times around the bottom. Then we go to the second level and walk around a couple of times. I mean, just to meet other Colts fans or wave or say hi or whatever. The prices of food can go down just a hair. But I'd like to see more of a selection, because I tell you what, when we were at Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium, which is a beautiful stadium in its own, I got to tell you that stadium's gorgeous. They had so many different food selections. I mean, my wife and I are walking around going, okay, there's your burgers, there's your pizza, there's your tacos, there's sushi. They got sushi. I don't particularly like sushi, but they had it. They had a barbecue area. They had. We ended up they had a deli, so we ended up at the deli getting some deli food. So, but they had a huge selection of food. So, increase the selection and lower the prices a little bit.
I'll tell Jim. So, obviously, other than getting to the stadium early, what other kind of game day rituals do you have? Obviously, other than getting the get up, is it up early? Is it out taking the dogs? You got the nerves going?
No, actually, we get up around 8 o'clock. We're usually out the door by 9:15. We go park. We go visit a couple tailgates. Then we go to Touchdown Town and hang out in Touchdown Town with, of course, Cloney and Superfan and all those guys. Legion of Blue, he's another one.
Yeah.
But we hang out there, meet people, get pictures taken, take pictures. Occasionally, they'll be interviewing a past Colt, like not last year, but the year before, they were interviewing Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
So I managed to say, "Hey, Marshall, come here. Can you sign this?" And so he signed my hat real quick and ran to the golf cart. But so, you get to talk to, ex-Colts like Jim Sorgi or Rick DeMulling or whoever's doing the radio shows. Mike,
I like Jim. I think Jim comes across really well on the podcast that the Colts do. And he does the game analysis, doesn't he, during the game for the radio?
Yeah, I always make a point into trying to find Mike Pryor, and getting a picture with him because it seems to bring us good luck.
And if they work, what about for the away games? Then obviously, when you're stuck, you watching the game in the cave?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If it's an away game and we're not going, which we didn't really go to away games until this past year.
Yeah.
But we're parked ready.
Was it full of snacks? Are you a snack guy during the game?
Yeah, I'll order a wings or some buffalo shrimp or buffalo wings. I'll order some of that. My wife will occasionally make like a dip or something, and usually it's just me and her. We have invited some people over from time to time and to enjoy the game with us, and sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't.
It depends because it's like it's a 3.5 hour thing. Sometimes you don't want to get the irrational fans. You want someone that's just nice and calm. That's positive, that gets excited. You don't want to have that fan around that's just slagging everyone off.
Yeah, I don't want negativity around me. But back before I lost my hand, I was a pretty good golfer, and I always refused to play golf with anybody that threw their golf clubs. I'm out there to have fun. I'm not out there to. And I'm the same way with football. Okay, there's a super fan that I sat around, and I'm not going to mention his name, but it's not somebody I've mentioned already. I'll put it that way. But we sat in a different section the last home game, and this guy was so negative the entire game that we ended up moving at halftime.
I hate that.
I just can't stand negativity. It's like, this is your team, okay? Yeah, things aren't going great, but you don't have to sit there and call them names and say we're not worth the crap or whatever you're saying.
No, definitely
right.
That. Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned a couple of local media guys, but who is your favourite reporter for the Colts across obviously 1070 The Fan, for the Colts themselves?
Lara Overton.
Yep.
Lara Overton. She actually interviewed me one time before I became the Colts Caveman. It was a Fan Friday type of deal.
Mm.
And she brought me in Fan Friday. I'm wearing my Eric Ebron jersey and what have you. But I can mention a few. Olivia Ray, who's local Channel 8. Charlie Clifford, who is also local Channel 8. Local Channel 13, Taylor Tannenbaum. She's one of my favorites. Stacey Dales. I met her for the first time. A big fan of hers. And Diana Rossini. So there's a few.
No. I'm a big Kevin Bowen guy.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Bowen's good. I've never personally met him, but the people that I just mentioned are the people that I have met and spoke to.
Lovely.
I know it's obvious that most of them are women, except for Charlie. But
hey, we're open to everything here. So looking towards this season, obviously with Matt Ryan, how do you think it's going to go? Any early predictions? Yeah,
actually, I think looking at. I know the schedule isn't out yet as far as where we're playing, or where we're playing is out, but when we're playing is not. I think we're going to see a lot more checkdowns. I think we're going to see a lot more high-powered offense and a fired-up defense. And free agency ain't over. Everybody on Twitter, I get it, Colts fans. We're not doing much. We don't have to. Okay, the draft is coming. After the draft, people are going to get released. It happens every year. And there are going to be some good players that we're going to get at a really good cost. Chris Ballard knows his stuff. He does. I mean, look, we just traded Carson Wentz in the 3rd round pick for 2 third-round picks.
It's been some good business, and I say I'm liking your vibe, Rick. We are very much this positivity. We try to be truthful with it. We try not to bag on people. We had a bit of an in-joke throughout the last season about Matty Eberflus. He wasn't our favourite coach, was he, Harrison?
No, not the. And don't get me wrong, I loved it when he proved me wrong. I didn't like the soft shell coverage system. It just wasn't for me. And obviously, it was a joke, but we do wish him the best in his next game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's face it. We had a couple of double-digit leads that we just blew. I mean, look at the Ravens game. I started to go to sleep, and I said, you know what? I better not. And we were up. I think 25-13, and lost that. Our kicker couldn't kick, and we fell apart.
Yeah, he was injured, wasn't he? He got injured during the warm-up, and then we had Badgley come in, didn't we, after that game?
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know what's going to go on with the kicker situation this year. We love good kicking competition. By the way, I don't have a Badgley jersey.
we love a good kicking competition here.
Yes.
It kind of makes it a little bit more fun for the off-season kind of narrative.
And I still miss the hell out of Pat McAfee.
Who doesn't?
I think we absolutely all do. Just his presence on the field, but that man, what he's done post career, is he's kind of rewritten the rule book.
Yeah.
About how people can approach media, and it's been a breath of fresh air. I mean, I don't listen to his show anymore, but certainly in the early days, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
He had some good characters with him.
Absolutely.
But he's definitely a fan's favorite over here, over here as well. And just obviously on that Matt Eberflus thing, Rick, there's in the Colts locker room, in Eberflus's office, there was a picture of Harrison on a dartboard and they were throwing darts through his face constantly. It was.
Well, I've been in the locker room and I might have seen that. No, every year the Colts do this bleed blue thing.
Yeah, give him blood.
And I've got all the footballs that I've gotten just by giving a pint of blood and helping out where I can. But most years they didn't do it this year or last year. Of course, they did the bleed blue blood drive, but normally you can go into the locker room, get a picture taken with the Super Bowl trophy. One year we actually got on the motorcycle that they drive out before the game. My wife and I got on that, and they took pictures of us. They generally have a player that's usually on injured reserve signing autographs. Cheerleaders are there, Blues there. Of course, NFL, the best mascot in any sport.
Yeah.
Blue.
Absolutely. Like across the world, he is by far the best mascot.
I'm kind of like Giovanni. You guys know Giovanni, right?
Yeah, young little kid.
Yeah, sports cat.
Yeah.
But anyway, the podcaster, yes. Giovanni is a great kid. He lives here in Indiana now.
Yeah.
And I got some Super Bowl stuff for him and his family, and hopefully they get here to get it at some point. But Giovanni got pied in the face. I'm going to kill my dogs. But Giovanni got pied in the face, and that's one of the things I want to do. I want Blue to pie me in the face. Blue and I did a little dance at the Bleed Blue Blood Drive this year. Little 6-second GIF or GIF or however you say that word.
Yeah, no, we're as confused as you.
But just to get pied in the face by Blue would be a lifelong dream, I guess.
Now, have you contacted the Colts to smash the anvil before the game?
How do I?
Have you contacted the Colts for you?
No, somebody on Twitter today said that I should be in the Ring of Honor, and I'm like, you guys are nuts. You guys have totally lost your mind. Ring of Honor is for the players. Smashing the anvil is for the play. Actually, I will say it's for the players, but last year they had a pacer doing it, Miles Turner.
Yeah.
And at another time, not last year, but the year before, they had an Indy 500 drivers do it.
They had Drew Powell, the actor, do it once as well, I think.
I'm sorry?
Drew Powell. He was in Gotham.
Yes.
One of the actors. I think he did it once as well.
Our favorite to do it is Pat McAfee. He puts a lot into it. And Blue. Watching Blue bang that anvil, I've got videotape of Blue and Robert Mathis this year and Dwight Freeney as well this past year, banging the anvil. And that's one of the things you talked about game day experiences. That's one of the things that we actually do is we go up around the anvil about an hour before so we get a good spot, and we talk to who's hitting the anvil and get pictures, and that's how I got Adam Vinatieri's autographed jersey. I brought my jersey. They don't normally tell you who's banging the anvil, so you just don't know. But that one time, Jim Irsay said we're going to have Adam the Patriots game. It's just right. He said we're going to have Adam Vinatieri banging the anvil. So I said I'm bringing my jersey, and just by luck, I was able to get an autograph.
Yeah, that's like the kind of game day kind of pageantry is so much different compared to sports over here. You seem to have a lot more access to players, to the staff, to the facilities compared to what we get here.
You do, and in Nashville. We go down, well, even here at Locust Oil, we go down close to the field before the games. Okay, as soon as the gates open, we're down there. I'm talking to the media, usually Charlie, Olivia, and Taylor, and players will walk by or GM. In Nashville, we sat right next to where the Colts come out of the tunnel, and I've got a hat that was signed by Chris Ballard and Carly Irsay and Kalen Jackson. And Defoe, I mean, Mo Alley signed it.
Wow. And
then I'm wearing my Kenny Moore jersey. So I put that over. He says, yeah, I'll sign that for you. No problem. So he signed it for me. Right there, actually.
How many jerseys have you got up on that wall, Rick?
17 jerseys, and I've got more coming.
Lovely.
I honestly don't know. Oh, and I got Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney over here, Andrew Luck and Gary Brackett over there. So
it puts my one Andrew Luck signed jersey to shame. That does.
Yeah, actually, the Andrew Luck signed jersey was a gift from somebody I met on Twitter that became a good friend, Sang Nguyen. He brought that to me. He said, I'm going to stop by and see your Colts cave, and he brought that to me. So it's incredible, the people I've met on Twitter. Brett Crabtree, he's brought me stuff. And there's another guy on Twitter, Dustin Tester. He asked for my address one time, and I had no idea why, so I sent it to him. I DM'd it. And he sent me a Raymond Berry signed mini helmet.
Wow.
And an Eric Dickerson signed 16 by 20 photo.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like I said, you've got the good and the bad with Twitter. You just do. And that's why I will occasionally get on there and say, God, I love all my Twitter followers. I do. Some of you drive me absolutely insane, but I'm actually humbled by the amount of people that want to hear what I've got to say. I mean, I'm just a fan. They'll ask my opinion on something, and I'd give it to them. But like I said, first and foremost, I don't make any of these decisions, like you said. Chris Ballard makes all the decisions. I've got what I think I would like, but would it work out? I don't know.
Very good. So just to kind of start wrapping up a little bit, for NFL fans, well, for UK fans that are getting into the NFL now, what would you say about the Colts? How would you appeal these new fans to the Colts?
I would say watch it, because it's like catching lightning in a bottle. This team is going to be fun. They are a lot of fun. I mean, between Defoe and a Maniac and Kenny Moore, just watch some of the even Hard Knocks last year. Watch some of that stuff. It's funny stuff. It really is. I mean, they do that camera thing when we win after a game, and they all run towards the camera, going to the tunnel, or even in practice they do it. And it is like the most fun thing to watch, because Darius Maniac will just sit there and do this and then run. But it's a fun team to watch. It's a team that you can respect. It's a team that you don't have to worry about them getting in trouble off the field. Mm-hmm. This is a team that is absolutely everything on the field and off the field. What they do around this community is unbelievable. The owner himself, there's not another owner in the NFL or any sport that does what Jim Irsay does. Yeah. He gives away thousands of dollars every week. and it's nothing. He just sent me and my wife to the Super Bowl. He sent 21 people to the Super Bowl, and they weren't all Colts fans. Some were Rams fans. Some were Bengals fans. He sent kids from Riley Children's Hospital here in Indianapolis, Cincinnati Children's Hospital. All right, this is something that it's a team you can be proud of. It's a team you can follow. It's a team that's going to win. I did before the Matt Ryan trade. I had a feeling not we were going to get Matt Ryan, but I did place a bet with Caesars for the Colts to win the AFC South.
I'm loving that. What's our record this year then, Rick?
Let's see, 17 games now.
Yeah,
I'm going 12-5.
I'll take that. I'll have that all day.
12-5, and we're going to win the AFC South, and we're going to. I'm hoping we get to the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna throw that out there yet, but I'm hoping we get to the Super Bowl, and I'm hoping to go.
Well, Jim Irsay has said, was it Harrison? He wants 3 in the next 10 years.
Yeah, 3 in the decade, didn't he? So
yeah, so he needs to start pulling his finger out. Rick, where can people find you?
Twitter? They can find me on Twitter at RickStevens63. They can find me on Instagram as Colts Caveman. I don't do as much Instagram because I really don't understand it.
It's just people posting really rubbish cover songs, so don't worry about it, Rick.
Yeah, but I am dead center here. Well, I can't say center. I'm on the south side of Indianapolis, a town that I absolutely adore. People say that I should be a ambassador for the city of Indianapolis for all the things I do here. I love this city. This city is amazing. The people are amazing. You hear about Hoosier hospitality. It's real. It is absolutely real. I've got a lot of friends, a lot of close friends, a lot of friends that I met on Twitter, and I'm humbled. Like I said, I'm just humbled by all the attention I get. I'm just me. That's all.
No, Rick, but thank you so much for joining us. We've just started this series off where we're trying to kind of open up the UK Colts fans to more fans across the pond that are obviously there week in, week out, who know the community and kind of hopefully kind of build that bridge. And we really appreciate all your time.
I appreciate you guys having me.
No, absolutely, anytime. If you ever want to come on and have a rant or something you don't like and you want to kind of make us aware of it, you're more than welcome on anytime you want.
Well, I'll hit you up on a DM sometime.
Yeah. I've just got a couple of questions before we end. They've just popped into my head now. You talked about the bleed blue. You see it in the community, but what sort of morale boosting effect does that have around just the town, the city, when the stigma campaign, and how? Because the Colts preach a lot of off-field stuff, but over here in the UK we don't really get to see it. So forgive me for think people could think it's just PR stunts, but from what you're saying, it's not just PR stunts. It's not just for Twitter. These guys are really integral parts of Indy.
Yeah, these guys are at food kitchens, feeding the homeless. Yeah. They are at Bleed Blue Blood Drive, signing autographs. They go around town and they build playgrounds for kids. They build homes for homeless people. I mean, it's real. It really is. And it's driven by the Colts community. I mean, if you follow them on Twitter at Colts Community, they post the most unbelievable stuff. These guys, it touches at your heart. It pulls at the heartstrings to see that these football players making millions of dollars that don't have to do this are doing it. They're going to children's hospitals and singing Christmas carols. Jack Doyle does it every year. I mean, Andrew Luck did it. He can't sing worth a lick, but he did it. And and you look at the city of Indianapolis. Here's something I failed to mention. You have people like Pat McAfee and Robert Mathis and people that spent some time in Indianapolis as an Indianapolis Colt that refused to leave the city. That says something. They made a home in Indianapolis and they're not going anywhere.
That's an excellent tagline. That is just an excellent tagline to end it. But my last one is, if you could have a beer with any Colts, past or present, which one Colt would you pick to have a beer with?
Oh man.
Or an orange juice, because you're not a drinker, are you, Rick?
No, I'm not a drinker, but I did all my drinking back in the day. I drank enough.
It's your ex-serviceman, Harrison. It must be something to do with it.
Yeah, it's just a Navy thing. Still drinking.
I so badly want to say Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Just flat out Peyton Manning. Not only because of the player he was and the person he is, but the comedian that he is. I mean, just to have a few drinks with Peyton. My wife would absolutely love that.
Maybe you need to stay away then, just in case, Rick. You'll be getting a divorce before you know it.
Right.
Excellent. To outro this then, Rick, it's honestly, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. I get to interview a lot of people, but this one truly felt special, especially towards the end. Me and Robbie did a separate show, not Colts related, but mental health related, because of Mental Health Awareness Week over here. And I think it's just massive over, the Colts, and it's been really thankful for that. But to end the show, I just want to say thanks for joining us. You didn't have to, but like you say, it must be that huge hospitality that, open arms to the world. And like you say, Indy, it's just a place you can call home, and it's one of those things that just gets under your blood.
Yeah, Indianapolis is an amazing thing. Now, you talk about mental health. Of course, the Colts are big into that kicking the stigma thing, which, matter of fact, I will say this. This year, it marks the 10th anniversary of mine and my wife being married. And in July, for our 10th anniversary, we're going to renew our vows. And we're going to do it in the backyard, and we're going to do it to the theme of Princess Bride, which is going to be a lot of fun. But instead of gifts, we're asking people to donate to Kicking the Stigma.
Excellent. Is there somewhere we can tweet this out? Is there a link somewhere, have you got a page, because we could spread this around Twitter and get it going like wildfire, hopefully.
I'm sorry.
Is there somewhere, if you got a page where people can come and donate, just because I want to get this going now like wildfire?
Oh, we haven't done that yet. I don't know how to go about doing that. GoFundMe or something like that doesn't seem proper. But I'll figure something out. I'm not sure what yet. Maybe my wife would have a better idea than I would, as far as that goes. But I mean, the people are. I don't know how many people we're going to have here. I honestly don't. But just the Princess Bride theme. I mean, right down to the, of course I'm going to be the Dread Pirate Roberts, and my wife's going to be Buttercup. But we've got all the characters. We've got that covered. But we feel it's important to. Our first wedding was Colts themed.
Obviously.
And this one is going to be movie themed, with the Colts in mind, because we want to get back for everything the Colts have given us. Speaking of which, I won a contest, a Jim Irsay contest 3 years ago. Tickets to Elton John concert, which hasn't happened yet. Been booked 3 times.
I don't think it will happen.
Friday night.
What is it?
Friday night, third row center. We're going to be singing Elton John. Sir Elton John.
Yeah, he is a legend over here.
So he's a legend everywhere.
Except for, like, he used to own Watford Football Club, which is the rival of my town.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's not very welcome around these parts.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Friday night for that. But yeah.
Hey, shouldn't it be Saturday night for fighting?
Saturday night's all right for now. Saturday night we're going to see Martina McBride.
No idea who that is, mate. No idea.
She's a country singer.
Okay.
That's probably why.
No, lovely. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Obviously the renewal of the vows, hopefully goes well. And when you get a link and stuff, let us know so we can donate ourselves, and obviously we can spread it around our community as well.
I appreciate that. I really do. You guys have been great. I appreciate it.
Thanks again, Rick. Really appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, guys.